Hey, it's Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, and I find it fascinating when something I put up can't be monetized. I learned the very first time that happened that means that it's been barred from distribution by YouTube. And it happened with one that I just put up about how to bust through fear about this Orlando thing. Interesting, huh? I find that very interesting. The other one that didn't get monetized was busting through the fear of Prince's death. It's the only other one. Well, I think there was one other one, but I don't think so. Maybe those just two. Anyway, I always find it very fascinating. So I'm going to change of focus here, and I'm going to repeat a few things that I had to tell a young man last night who was running fear scenarios and was incapacitated, actually, really feeling bad. This shit will get you sick, guys. So here's the deal. When these kind of things come up, please understand they are triggers for mass fear. It is like a freaking feast. It's a banquet. If the bait is taken, and if a group of innocents quake, and can you imagine, all over the country, if not the world, are people who had not really been contemplating their mortality are doing so. And what does that do to someone who doesn't believe in reincarnation, doesn't believe in the validity of their soul, doesn't believe that they have a purpose here that is benevolent toward others, and that their death actually is a form of love? Well, there's going to be a lot of fear. Yum smack. Yeah. Fear, let's recall, fear is restrictive. It is containing, it is imprisoning, and it's self-perpetuating. So, we stopped the fear last night by reminding our friend about the culture from which he sprung, and who loves him. The culture that collectively, finally, got off their knees, stood up, balled up their fists, and said, I think not. I think not. And guess what happened? Stonewall riots. No, you police officers, you can't come in here and break up our watered down beer party that we have to pay full price for in this crap alley bar just to get away for a couple hours and express ourselves as we see fit. No. We're not going to consent to our pictures being in the paper and our full names being placed down below as some sort of shaming device for wanting to have a beer with a friend. No. And we celebrate that every year at Pride Fest. The dark likes to hit the hornet's nest with a stick. And they look at each other and say, and with sloppy, dumb, slow grins on their faces, and teeth that have not been brushed for like a couple years. And they look at each other grinning, saying, they're going to get so scared they're never going to come out. So, it's like, what group are they going to bang up enough? Well, evidently lots. School children, and this banquet of fear. Well, assassinations of big ones to remind everyone to keep quiet and not speak the truth, and then serial killers who picked off sexual women or naive women and gay people, And there's just lots of ways to instill fear, and these are manifestations. They're consciousness manifestations. They're monsters. Well, what do we know about monsters? They're fictional. They're shadow play. So, yeah. It's time as a group to nut up and have the most fabulous Pride Fest ever. Unarmed. And in our tightest, shiniest, prettiest, sexiest clothings. Or whatever you want to wear. Don't matter. You're faboo any old way you come to the Pride Fest. So whatever. So you're gonna take it seriously? Is it really? So here's the bottom line. Get comfortable with your own mortality. Because if you don't do that, then every time this comes up, you're gonna be fucked up. Oh, there was a shooting in a movie house. Oh, okay, so now I can't feel safe sitting down, escaping. As just a human being, I can't go to a movie house. That was when it stopped for me. Oh, really? Really? I don't think so. No. So, thank you, but I'm really not going to be partaking in this fear fest anymore. I don't plan on dying in a shooting. If I do, well, there you go. So be it. Whatever. So I think I'll go enjoy this movie now. I had to do that. And I'll tell you, that first time having to submit my purse for a check, I said, I think not, young man. Do I look like someone who's carrying? Don't you do this to me. Don't submit to this insanity, young man. I am not the enemy. And your job is not to, doesn't include this. It's, consider this other duties as assigned. No. And then I handed him my bag. So, raise consciousness and comply. Whatever. That's what you do in a prison culture. That's how the rebels break the walls up from the inside out. Really? Really, girly? I'm going into the water world. Look at this face. Do you think do I look like I'm packing grenades? I think that you could find a better way of making, $9 an hour. I think this is a fucked up way to make a living. Yes, here's my bag. That's how I roll. Well, at that point, she's as much a representative of them as I am a representative of what I am. And she's complying to something that is insane. So, which is, fear. La. So we'll see if this goes through. Please don't be afraid. It's just so... If you're afraid, then you're locked down. You're in a prison. And you're in survival. And you're thinking about your heart, but not from your heart. It's a really, really good way to dumb down a population and turn them into zombies. Just, for long enough to get things done. It's a good way to deflect attention. It's a good way to do a lot of things. But it's also just delicacy. Fear. Especially in someone who's doing okay, la 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 la, then pew. Yeah, get him going. Woo. Some people really get off on that. And it's very, can be very helpful in controlling populaces and realities. So, that 50 cents, baby. So, as they say, frequently, to me, and by extension to us here, fear not. Please, fear not. Thank you.